All right. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. All right, y'all. Getting ready to go live here in a minute. What's on my phone? Oh. All right, y'all. Got a few things to talk about tonight on this live stream. Good fights last night. We had some good fights on Friday too. So give y'all a few minutes to come in. Robert Henry, what's going on, man? Marcus Bell, what's going on? Yeah, let a few of y'all come in, then we can get to talking, man. Got some good stuff to talk about. I want to give y'all my 2 cents on what Miranda Maverick said. I went back and listened to it. I went back and read the interview, so I want to talk about that a little bit. And of course, yeah, Marcus, I want to talk about the jab, man. I got to talk about the jab. Got to talk about the Usman jab. We got to talk about Macy Barber, where she's headed. We got to talk about this hype. TJ, what's going on? Alexa Grasso, does she got that killer instinct for real, man? Like, is she gonna make it? Is she gonna make it in the top 10? Just a lot of questions, man. And then we could talk about Pollyanna, Viana, and Mallory Martin real quick. I mean, that was a short night, so we get that out of the way first, man. Yeah, yeah, Marcus, yeah, do that, man. You got to give the interview and that. You got to read the whole thing. See, I read the whole thing, and I've already talked to her before. Like I said, since I talked to her, like she's never been like a clout chasing type of fighter, man. Like she's got a goal on her mind. Her goal is to be champion and do it the smart way. Like it's not about, oh man, I can beat Valentina now. I mean, you got to have that type of confidence. I mean, at least when she gets into the top 10 or top 15, she will want that fight. So yeah, let's get started here in like a minute. Yeah, hit the like button, man. That helps the notifications come up. You hit the like button because not a lot of people get a notification from me when I come on. So Coach, what's going on? And I don't know if y'all got a chance to see my interview with Chris Bird, man. That was a good interview, man. Like we talked for like over an hour just about like drug use, the vegan diet, people ducking people in boxing. So just so many things me and Chris Bird had talked about in that interview. I don't know if y'all got a chance to see that, but y'all need to check it out. That was good conversation. Good conversation with Chris Bird, man. Talked all about steroid use and all that crazy stuff, man. Ooh, he got some good stories too, man. We talked for like almost an hour. I didn't expect him to want to stay on it for an hour, but he did, So that was a lot of respect for him, man. Just to come through and just be honest about the game. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and get started, man. Let's go ahead and get to talking. We can go ahead and get to talking all this MMA conversation. Unfortunately, we don't have too much boxing talk right now. I mean, it is what it is with boxing, man. But as y'all know, Miranda Maverick versus Jillian Robertson, that fight didn't happen, man. And I was just like, come on, I'm crushed. Well, that gives BJ a chance to change his prediction. Yeah, I know he's listening. That gives him a chance to change his prediction now that the fight's been pushed out. As y'all know, it's been pushed out. Jillian Robertson came down with an illness, non-COVID related. Came out of the bed vomiting. You know, I put the video up. I read it off her Instagram, pretty much word for word. Yeah, she was vomiting, had the chills. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but you know, it just came down to it. You know, I don't know what to say. Like I can't really call it duck. I don't know what's going on with her. I just hope she gets better and you know she gets ready for the fight, and you know they can make it in like a couple weeks. You know, I hope they can still make this fight because you know I feel like this is still a fight that's needed for Miranda Maverick just to break into the top 15 and to get some UFC fighters on her belt. You know, and for Jillian, you know she needs a fight like this. You know, she needs a fight like this to show her next level. So hopefully they can make that fight. Oh yeah, and shout out to Florahani, man. Florahani, LFA 99. I watched that last night. You know, I did an interview with her. She won her LFA debut. Y'all need to check that fight out. I posted the picture right there, that small picture you see there. She had a fight with Vanessa Soto. That was a good fight. Girl's got some good boxing skills. She's pretty strong. Got a post-fight video coming out on that one. But yeah, she's a good fighter, man. You need to check her out. Yeah, man. Yeah, fight delayed, result the same. Yeah. Yeah, Robert. Yeah, I enjoyed talking to Chris Bird. I think he was like probably one of my favorite interviews. You know, I think he was definitely one of my favorites because he was just open to just talk about everything in his career. Marcus said when Holyfield versus Tyson get made, we have boxing talk. I ain't talking about that, man. I mean, that's done. Holyfield did his thing 2 times. They don't need to fight no more. I talked a little bit about the Roy and the Mike fight, but that's man, this ain't necessary, man. But yeah, man, I know this has been going around. We'll talk about it real quick. Miranda Maverick, what she said as far as fighting Valentina, seeing some holes in her game. And, you know, it's kind of gotten under a lot of people's skin. You know, there's some people on her Twitter, you know, they were coming at her, you know, because of what she said about wanting to fight the champion. And, you know, it actually shout out to Jason Rose. You know, Jason Rose, he commented on one of my videos. He said it got to him so much, he actually changed his prediction and wanted to go with Jillian Robertson. You know, if you go back and look at my videos, Jason Rose actually said, I'm changing my pick. I'm going with Jillian Robertson now. I was like, damn, was it like that? Was it that serious, y'all? Damn. I mean, like I said, I like a fighter that talks with confidence. At least you know that eventually she wants to fight the best. And that she's goal-oriented. That's why I would say she's a goal-oriented fighter, that she's not just fighting for the sake of fighting. She's fighting to be the best and win the strap one day, hopefully, if she can. You know, she wants to challenge herself and fight Valentina one day. Nobody's saying she wants to fight her in her next fight. But at least you know that the champion is on her radar. That's her goal to fight. I mean, you got people in the top 10 now that won't even call out Valentina, you know? You got people who hold down the number 4, 5, 6 spot, but they will not fight the champion. They will not call her out. You got Roxanne continuously putting herself in that position, but she won't take that fight, you know? Well, you got a fighter like Miranda who comes over to the UFC, tells you after her very first fight against Liana Jojua that, hey, look, after this fight here, I got a 2-year plan. My 2-year plan is to hopefully fight during my last year in school, you know, to fight for the belt my last year in school. She said as long as I can make it through, you know, fight the fights I need to fight, I can get into the top 10, then hopefully sometime in 2022 or 2023 I can fight for the belt. So that makes sense. That's logical. You know what I mean? So until then, you keep working and working, which is what she's doing, to become that well-rounded fighter, or however you want to put it, that legit contender. You got to put all the pieces together to be that fighter. And I think she's not skipping out on that just because she says she sees a few holes in the Champions game. I mean, anybody can say, oh, they see the holes, but I think her game plan is to be the fighter to execute the ability to exploit the holes. You know what I mean? I brought this up a little bit in the chat. I said, Mikey Garcia against Errol Spence. What did he say? He was like, oh man, like I see something in Errol Spence. I see something in him. He can be beat. I can see something in him, right? Come fight night, Errol Spence beat the brakes off of him for 12 rounds. You know, he whooped him. He dominated him for 12 rounds because what? Mikey Garcia did not have the ability to exploit what he said he saw. It's one thing to say, I see something, but it's another to say I can exploit holes. And I think that's what Miranda's getting at. She's saying, I see these holes, but at the same time, I know I'm not ready. I just got to get up to par, get up to that level where I can exploit those holes, you know? Like Jennifer Maya, she had enough to do one thing for one round against Valentina, but that was it. Where you need A, B, and C, and a D to beat Valentina. You know what I mean? Where she just had that one game to win one round, she didn't really have a whole game plan to win a fight. You know, so as time goes on, you know, that's something that she's going to be working on. That's why I decided I'm not going to take that to heart and say I'm going to change my pick. Or I'm going to get pissed off saying she's cocky. Marcus said, what Maverick said wasn't enough for me to change. No, it wasn't enough to change your pick. I mean, look, I'm going to read the interview right here. I'm going to just read a little piece of it here. Hold on. Let me find this thing. This was a press conference. And she said this after her Liana Jojua fight. She'd already said in 2 years, I want to fight the champion. Which makes sense to me. You got a 2-year plan. And this is why I know that she's serious about taking it the right way, because she said here, look, I don't want to be done by fight. I want to be done fighting by the time I'm in my early 30s. I don't want to be like 35 still fighting. You know, she says she's 23, so she wants to be in the top 10 by 24. I'm ready to get to the top, make my mark, make my money. I don't want to get brain damage. I just want to have that one thing, family, kids, and things, and not having to go back to fighting to make a living. See, that's real talk right there. That's what I'm saying. Like, her mindset is to be out at a certain time. That's going to make a fighter push harder. That's going to make a fighter even push harder. Why do you think Andre Ward, Barry Sanders, fighters and football players like that, they had a goal to get out the game early? Because they didn't want to just be fighters. They wanted to be a champion. There's a difference between being a fighter and being a champion. And to me, this is championship talk. Look, I want to be done in my early 30s, okay? Because she wants to have a family. She doesn't want to keep, even like Joanna. Joanna's done the championship thing. Like, she should be done. She's got money, but she continues to come back and want to beat herself up and go in the game. Like, Joanna could be done if she wanted to. But this is the mind frame you want. You want to be able to say, look, my main goal is to be champion. It's not just to continue to fight and be a gatekeeper, you know? That's why I can, you know, actually take her seriously and say, when she gets into the top 10, she will be calling out Valentina. Yeah, Robert. I guess whatever Garcia was seeing, he couldn't touch it. He couldn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's different. BJ, what's going on? BJ said, I mean, some people were being radical. I was still picking Maverick no matter what she said, though I was wondering if she lost focus. Nah, that's not losing focus, though, man. Because look, here she said, look, I certainly don't think it's the next fight, but hopefully in a few fights within the next couple of years. It's funny, people were picking on me like, oh, another person calling out Valentina. I didn't really call her out. That's just where I want to be at some point. All right. So I'll say that again. I didn't really call her out. That's just where I want to be at some point. That's a goal, right? But I think I have the grappling background that is almost stronger than any other girl in the division, where I can go in there and wrestle them, use my jiu-jitsu, and get finishes. They didn't talk about that a lot in my last fight, which I found amusing just because Jojua has this background and how many finishes she had by armbar. And I was like, nobody's talking about 5 finishes I had with the armbar, rear naked choke, and everything else. Yeah, remember I brought that up. She's got just as many finishes as Joe Jewett does, right? So here, that aside, I don't think anybody has pushed Valentina in her grappling at all. People always wait until they're dead tired to try and take her down. Oh, it's like round 2 and maybe I can try and take her to the ground because I just got beat up for a whole round. Why not take her down in the first, or at least test your skills there? Nobody seems to want to go to the ground with her. It's like this competition where they think, well, she's a good striker, so I want to show that I am. That's not the fighting world. You need to go in there and win a fight. All right, so right there, like, yeah, I know, yeah, definitely, like, Valentina, her grappling is still on point right now, and I think her ability to be well-rounded and her striking and just so physically strong, I think at any point her grappling can still be too much for Miranda Maverick right now, real talk. That's why I'm saying, like, she's saying that eventually she can get there and she can see those things now. But it's one thing to see them, but it's going to be one thing to execute them. So she's not really talking about, oh, I can exploit the holes now. In no way is she saying that. She's saying, look, I see these things, but when I get there, when I get to that point, I'm going to do my best to exploit those holes. Pretty much, that's pretty much it. She didn't say, oh, I'm overlooking Jillian Robertson and I want Valentina in my next fight. I'm the best in the world. She's not even talking like Macy Barber there. That's just confidence. And if you ask me, between Miranda, Manon, and Taylor Santos, they have more well-roundedness than Macy Barber does. To me, I would call them the future of the flyweight division and not Macy Barber. All right, hold on. Let me go back to the chat. BJ said Jillian isn't someone to look past. I don't think she was ever looking past Jillian, just forecasting her future. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, if a fighter forecasts their future, I can kind of ride with them more so. Even in boxing, like Errol Spencer's fighters that put their future out there and they say, I want this, this, and this, and then I'm done. Those are the fighters that really have a game plan. They're not just there to wear the uniform. You know what I mean? TJ said Maverick could have said the earth is flat and I've still picked over Jillian Roberts. I know, BJ. Yeah, we didn't get our fight, man. I know, man. Hopefully we get it in a couple weeks. Yeah, Robert said he misunderstood her. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just had to read the whole thing. And like I said, I've talked to her behind the scenes about it. And, it's before this. And I've never got that mind frame where she would overlook anybody. Marcus said we might get Roxanne Lauren Murphy too. What? Oh, I see who bringing up Roxanne and Lauren Murphy again. That's all I'm going to say, Marcus. I see why you bringing them up, man. It's Valentine's Day, right? You bringing your... let me stop. You bringing them up on Valentine's Day. That's all I'm going to say, Marcus. BJ said what Miranda is saying is what we've been saying. Nobody's tested her grappling out right in the gate. Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's one thing. Nobody has because they're intimidated. They don't want to step to Valentina or test her. It's like there's people who used to say Floyd Mayweather's never been pressed to the ropes. Nobody wants to bully him or fight him to the ropes. Well, who has the skill set to do it? Who's got the power and the strength to do it? Nobody. So somebody has to work on pushing that fight to the ropes. And I think that's what her game plan is, to eventually get there in a couple of years to make sure that she has that ability to do that. Yeah, man, that would be good, BJ. Put it on the card with Silva versus MDLR. Yeah, just put it on that card. Have those fights. Just push the fight out a few weeks, and hopefully she'll be ready. So yeah, man, like I said, yeah, man, I was just seeing some people commented on some of my videos, and they were just like, yo, I know Jason did, and somebody else, they was like, man, I don't like what Miranda said. They said, I'm going with Jillian now. That just shows you how, like, some people can you know, much respect to Jason Rose. But I'm just saying, like, some people, they'll just jump ship real quick after one thing said. And I was like, you got to read into the whole thing, man. Like, just read the whole article. Just read the whole article, man. It wasn't like that serious. And I want somebody to say, I want to be champion. And you don't get that many people in the flyweight division saying, I want to be champion. So yeah, man, give me your thoughts on that. I mean, at the end of this, towards the end of the show, I'll do an open link. So if anybody want to come in and give me your thoughts on that, that's cool. I'll be here. I mean, I want anybody. Look, I want anybody calling out my favorite fighter. My favorite fighter. If my favorite fighter is Rose, she's the champion. I want somebody to say, I'm gonna whoop her ass. You know what I mean? I want somebody to say they'll beat her because I want her to have a good fight. I'm a fan of the fights, like we were talking about earlier, man. I'm a fan of good fights. I'm a fan of fighter who wants. I'm a fan of fighters who want good fights too, though. So yeah, let's jump to the next one. Like I said, I'll talk about it again. If people keep on, because it's just like, wow. I heard, yeah, like people were going at her on Twitter, man. That's why she had to come back on Twitter and say, like, you people are jumping the gun on me. People were just like ready to go down her throat over this thing. That's why I was like, wow, come on, y'all. I mean, everybody gotta have a goal in life, though. I mean, if you want to get somewhere. So yeah, real quick. Pollyanna Viana versus Mallory Martin. I didn't really have a pick in this fight. I couldn't really pick this fight. I couldn't really like break it down as far as what would happen because I just feel like both of these fighters are kind of in that. They're kind of in that realm where sometimes they're here, sometimes they're not. Pollyanna Viana. She was on that 3-fight losing streak before she broke it against who she break it? Emily Whitmire, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Emily Whitmire. So, she's just getting back into the mix. Just bounced back with a win over Hannah Cyphers. Before that, she got submitted by Verna Jandiroba. And going into this fight here, I was like, okay, Mallory Martin, she got to stick to the stand up. Round one opens up. She's looking all right with the stand up. Mallory Martin's looking okay with the stand up. She was landing some nice little shots. She catches a Pollyanna Viana kick. What does she do? She takes it to the ground and she tries to fight her in the guard. And I was like, okay, here we go. She's making that mistake because Mallory Martin can get a little reckless in that guard, man. But like sometimes that killer instinct of hers, Mallory Martin's, it can be like off the charts and it leaves her open. And that's what happened in this fight. Amateur mistake. She got the hand. She got the arm right in that triangle. I mean, a couple of shifts to the hips from Pollyanna, and she was right there with that triangle, and just she was wailing on Mallory Martin to the head. Yeah, Marcus, that got canceled. Sorry. Yeah, Pollyanna was just like showcasing good fighting off the back too, man. I was impressed. Like she was good off the back, and she was just controlling the one arm of Mallory Martin. She had the right arm, and then she was like elbowing to the head with one and just flustering, working Mallory Martin, So when I saw that, I was like, okay, it's about over here. Then that armbar attempt, it was going to happen. It was going to happen because there was no way Mallory had a way to escape. She had no way to escape. She's flexible. She was flexible. She could keep twisting with it, but as soon as Pollyanna made her fall back on her back, all she had to do was get that positioning right, and boom, she tapped, man. So that's how it goes, man. I mean, if you get reckless in there, I mean, Pollyanna's much better on her back and much better on the ground than she is on her feet. And this is something we talked about with Macy Barber. Same thing kind of applied to Mallory Martin's fight, except she just got made, short work of. Mallory Martin is a fighter that has a lot of heart. She wants to go in there and fight. She's scrappy, but sometimes she'll abandon technique. She'll abandon the IQ. She did that in here. I mean, She did it against Jandiroba, another tough fighter on the ground who submitted her just like that. So her ground game, and I think just committing to her feet and her IQ are just some things she needs to really improve on. I was kind of picking Mallory Martin. I was kind of going with Mallory Martin in this fight just because I thought she would have stuck to her feet. Viana versus Martin looked like flyweight versus strawweight in there. Viana is normally a slim thing, but she looked more. Yeah, she looked a little bit. Yeah, she did have a little bit more size to her in this fight. Yeah, Pollyanna definitely looked a little bit more filled out in this fight, and she just showcased some good ground game in here, man. Like fighting off of her back, and talking about fighting off your back a lot in my videos lately because some fighters just abandon it. I mean, she got to work. As soon as she hit her back, she was like, I got this arm and I'm gonna elbow you in the head with this hand. I don't know. Answer me this. What do y'all think, Mallory Martin? Do y'all think she is like UFC ready, Because somebody like Mallory Martin should be getting fighters out of here like this. Like, no disrespect to Pollyanna, but she should have like an easy game plan of outstriking and maybe, even stopping a fighter like Pollyanna Viana. If you're on UFC level, it should be much more competitive. I feel like she just fell into an easy trap. I mean, what do y'all think? Mallory Martin, is she UFC material to y'all? I was rooting for Pollyanna in that one. Let me see. Yeah, answer that question. What do y'all think? Like, is Mallory Martin, is she UFC ready here? Like, is she ready for this big game in the UFC? Because if you can't beat Pollyanna and you get submitted by Jandiroba, I really don't know who else you can beat. I mean, Kay Hansen, or I don't even think she could beat Corey McKenna if that's the approach. Because Corey McKenna, her stand-up is much better and she's stronger. Because I don't even see her beating like Olivia Sousa. And like I said, Jandiroba submitted her easy. So yeah, let me see. Mallory Martin equals Montana De La Rosa. I think Montana has a little bit better technique than Mallory Martin. I think her technique is a little bit better. There's some fights I think she could still win, but the way Mallory Martin's looking in the strawweight division, I don't know. I mean, if you're losing to these fighters, I don't see her ever beating like even Tisha Torres. No, I don't see her beating any of these. Corey McKenna, Kay Hansen. Maybe like her and a Jinu Frey fight would be more in the even playing field. I see Loma Labutni beating her. With that being said, oh, hold on. TJ said Mallory Martin is Invicta Can fighter. Damn. Martin is interchangeable with a lot of these Contender Series chicks to me. Unremarkable thus far. Well, what do you think about this, Stamina? I'm glad you brought that up because let me ask you this, Stamina. Miranda did another interview where, again, some people, they were kind of giving her flack about this because she said, I don't want to be on the Contender Series because I feel like I'm better than that. She was like, I feel like I'm surpassed the contender fighters, and if they offered me a contender fight, I wouldn't have taken it because I need to be in the UFC. What do you think about that? Any of y'all, even you, Stamina, because since you brought up the contender fighters, like, I feel the same way she does. I'm like, yeah, like, these contender fighters aren't really coming through. But look, somebody over here, like Miranda, knows her worth, and she says, nah, I don't need to be on here because if I try to get on here, it's, I'm past that, Yes, damn. I still got to say De La Rosa's dangerous. Like, De La Rosa's got some stand up and a good right hand. At least I could say that. Like, she has a good right hand and she has the ability to submit. She's got the ground game that Mallory Martin lacks. Yeah, man. Like, cause I know y'all, a lot of y'all been talking about the contender fighters being bust right now. So I mean, why do you think Miranda Maverick said, "Look, I ain't got to go in a contender series. I know I'm better than that." You know, and like it's showing through her. It's showing through her actions, man. McKenna would beat her. Yeah, yeah. McKenna. I think McKenna's hell of a strong fighter. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know what else Mallory Mark can do until she kind of slows the pace down. Yeah, Jinu Frey, I feel like is more on her level because both are kind of from that contender series. Um, I really can't, TJ. I can't come up with a second fighter that would be on 50-50 level. Because yeah, Corey McKenna is better. Corey McKenna is better than Mallory Martin. Let me see. Jinu Frey. I see. No, Gloria Paula will probably win too. Gloria DePaula would probably beat her too. Never mind. I'm just saying, man. TJ said hopes to be on DLR's level. That's what I'm saying. At least Montana De La Rose has some good wins in there, and she has broken into the top 15. You know, she's broken into the top 15, and she does have some legs to stand on, and like you can still count on her to submit somebody if she gets that opportunity. Ah, there you go, BJ. Miranda Granger. I couldn't think of a name yet because Ashley Yoder would beat Mallory Martin too, and Miranda Granger. Miranda Granger actually said she got a fight coming up, but that would be a good 50-50 match. Stamina said I'm not mad at that. Yeah, anyone that fought regularly and Invicta has a different level of pedigree to other fighter organizations, Invicta, LFA, yet KSW fighters potentially don't need contenders. Right. Yeah, if you already like tasted some type of victory in these lower level organizations, if you beat the top competition there, then you can kind of graduate. Cause Manon Firo was a UAE champion. She was a UAE flyweight champion, and they signed her to the UFC. No need for contender series, you know. In all honesty, Tanisha Tennant should be in there. You know, Tanisha Tennant won the Invictus series. She showcased better skill than all these girls in the bantamweight division. Tanisha Tennant should be in there. I'm about tired of Dana White and like ignoring her, man. Like she should be signed. Like you signed Manon Firo. Why the hell is Tanisha Tennant not in the UFC yet? You know, that's just getting frustrating, man. Like you missing out on good talent for your dried up bantamweight division. Oh man, that's just frustrating thinking about. Uh, it's not a blanket rule, but Martin put together a decent streak in Invicta, but the most reputable fighters she faced, she took L's to. Right, right, right. Yeah, she took an L against like when the competition went up, she took L's, man. Yeah, Mallory Martin. That was her last fight. BJ. She submitted her. She submitted Hannah Cyphers in her last win. And another name, BJ. Yeah, to Pam Sorensen. Like you keep overlooking these well-rounded, skillful fighters. It's like frustrating. Yeah, that's all I can say, TJ. Yeah, like if they come down to 50-50 and you can't ever see her like beating some, then maybe not. That's why I'm like asking. Like, I really don't see like her being like UFC level or being in the top 15. It's going to take a lot of work, man. Sarah Kaufman. Kaufman fought in the UFC. Yeah, yeah. Kaufman did at least get that shot a while back. Now she's over and we're PFL, right? Yeah, yeah, man. But Yeah, the strawweight division, man, it's just too the balls are, it's just the wheels are just rolling on it right now where it's not waiting for anybody. You got to be ready. And I'm not sure if Mallory is really ready for these top level fighters or even like the lower levels. Yeah, Robert, that was a good video BJ put out. Yeah, because I was like, yo, like, come on, man. Like, put her in there, man. Put her in there. Yeah, I was listening to that night at work. I was like, BJ getting frustrated too with these, with how they doing these fighters. I'm like, yeah, it's frustrating, man. All right, so here we go. One, two, three. We talk about that. Okay. All right. Macy Barber versus Alexa Grasso. Alexa Grasso versus Macy Barber. Macy Barber, the UFC's growing wonder girl, right? Macy Barber, they sold the documentary or whatever you want to call it. They sold it solely on her and just ignored Alexa Grasso. They wanted to ignore her altogether and just focus on Macy Barber, a fighter coming off a year and some change layoff that didn't even look impressive in that loss, coming off a torn ACL. And that's the fighter that they feel is the future. Like, I'm not trying to tear it down here. I'm not tearing it down. I'm just looking at all the obvious things on why. I'm looking at all the obvious things, and I'm asking y'all, and I'm asking the UFC why they felt like she was the marketable fighter here. Aside from the mic skills, like, why is she the marketable fighter whenever she has no win? She's been out of the octagon for a year. She's fighting a much more polished, seasoned fighter than herself. Why are we just overlooking Alexa Grasso, what she's bringing to the table here? You know, that's what I'm saying. Whenever they kind of come into this is what irritates me with the UFC, when you try to play with these certain fighters and try to make them star childs. Like, it don't work that way. It just never works out. Especially whenever the hardcore fans and other fighters, they can really see what another fighter is made of that's getting all this hype. They're already telling you, oh man, look, this fighter ain't gonna make it. Or they're telling you, oh man, this fighter here, look, I gave that fighter work all day long, So when you look at a fighter like her, even Paige Van Zandt in the past, okay, they got the heart, they got the dog, they got the skill. Excuse me, they don't got the skill, they got the bravery to get into the octagon, but do they got the skill? No, they don't have it. And that was kind of the same situation here. It was another bust for the UFC to just, instead of promoting the fight, they try to promote the fighter. And that's where they're going to continue to fail if they always do that. Like, okay, Tanisha Tennant versus Danielle Wolf. Danielle Wolf, to me, lost that fight, but you focus solely on her instead of focusing on both fighters and giving the people the choice on who the fans should focus on, who the fans should really get to know. Alexa Grasso, to me, it was just kind of disrespectful to counter out like that, because like I said, she's the one carrying the weight to me with the legit wins and the time in the gym and the more dedicated hours to working on her game, and it showed in this fight. It showed in this fight, and it pretty much went like I called it. I started to say split. I said split decision. I predicted a split decision for Alexa Grasso for good reason, because I thought what Macy Barber did in the third round, I thought she was going to do in part of the second round. And if she did that, then the second round would have been a lot closer, if that makes sense. Like, I knew Alexa was going to start off and win that first round, but then I thought, like, in the second round, Macy was going to turn it up a little bit in the second, land a big shot or two, be physical. And then after that, boom, that round would be kind of hard to call. Then the third round, like I said, I would give when I played it out in my head, Macy was going to win the third round, which she did. But nah, man, Alexa added that game plan of working the clinch, working the ground, damn near submitting her with the armbar, rear naked choke. She just completely outskilled and dominated those first 2 rounds, in my opinion. I mean, Macy had her moments with the punches with the right hand in the first round, in the third round, but other than that, like, this was just all around beautiful work from Alexa, technically. Let me check the chat real quick. When you gonna talk about that Macy marketability thing when you send out links? Oh yeah, I'll send out some links. I'm talking about it now, but yeah, we can talk about it when I send the link out. If y'all want to come in, we'll talk about it, Robert. Let me see. Clout with who? Not with anyone who's a hardcore fan. Oh no, TJ. Yeah, hardcore fans. No, we ain't gonna buy that. But she getting the clout with the men. I was just reading. Like, here's the thing, TJ. I was looking at like some just online streams where Alexa Grasso was doing the media interviews, and all the men in there, and like you said, all the simps, they're all like, "Where's Macy? Where's Macy? Macy looks better. I want to see Macy." You know what I mean? Like, they're not even caring about what Alexa Grasso's saying because they're so focused on Macy and the way the UFC's been promoting her. They don't even want to take the time to see highlights of Alexa because they so caught up in what Macy looks like, And now when they do that, look, you push the fighter too soon, and boom, the future is no longer the future. It's the past. Colton, what's going on? Colton said Macy was screwed the second she knew she couldn't out-muscle Alexa in the clinch. Exactly. Man, Colton, she was like, first round, whenever that clinch when she went in for that clinch and Alexa like reversed her, I saw the look in Macy's eyes, and I was like, Macy was like, man, this girl is strong. Macy had that look like, man, this girl is strong. She put that underhook under, and then she had like the elbow in her neck and putting the head control on her. Like, Macy was struggling. And that's the thing. Macy's like a big girl, but she's not physically strong. Like, the upper body strength was all Alexa. And then there was that point in the second round whenever, y'all saw that, right? When Macy took Alexa down, Alexa invited the ground. Macy tried to go back to standing, but whenever she chose to stay on the ground, it kind of shocked Macy. Then Macy went in and damn near went into the guard and got submitted with the armbar. And then Alexa reversed that, almost got like that headlock on her. And it looked like she was about to choke her out. Like, she was about to choke Macy out. And Macy just had this look on her face like, I didn't know she was this strong. It was like she couldn't believe it. Then the transition in the grappling, when she got to the back, I was like, here we go. She's about to get submitted, but she made it out, survived the rear naked choke. It was just so much good work from Alexa in the first 2 rounds. But let's talk about that third round, though, man. Let's talk about this third round, man. Alexa Grasso in the third round. This is what I'm talking about. Alexa's got to develop that killer instinct, man. Hold on, let's let this stream fix it. Okay, there we go. So Alexa Grasso in the third round, she takes her foot off the gas. And what does Macy Barber do? This is what I talked about in my prediction. The difference between these two fighters is their level of want. Like, Macy can be outgunned, she can have outboxed, she can be outpunched, but she'll still want the fight. She'll still want the win just as bad as she wanted it before the fight started. She wants that win, and when all else is lost, there's nothing else to do, she's gonna come in there swinging for that home run. And she went in there, clocked Alexa a couple of times. Alexa looked hurt a few times, and I was just like, oh man, like, this is where she's going to change the table. This is where she's going to turn the table. She rocked her a couple of times. I thought she was going to have that Suarez moment where she was going to go to the ground with her, but Alexa's strength and her grappling definitely saved her. Alexa survived this round. Had a lot of good moments where she could have landed some good counter punches and maybe knocked Macy out because Macy was coming full force. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, Macy at number 10 wants to fight Valentina one day, but I'm like, you run in there against Valentina with these bull rushes, you will get knocked out. You know, where Alexa's letting you go, somebody like Valentina is going to take full opportunity and knock you out. You know, so I think that Alexa did a very good job first 2 rounds, but she let that third round go. Went too much into survival mode when she was the fresher fighter. She should have took the opportunity to knock her out. Now, I will say this too. I disagree with a lot of people saying if this was a 5-round fight, Macy would have came back and won, because the pace would have been different. That's just me. I think that Alexa, her mind frame and her conditioning and her rhythm would have been different for a 5-round fight. You know, she knew this was a 3-round fight. So in the third round, she took the opportunity to kind of go on the back pedal, which was not a smart idea, but she did that because she knew the fight was over. But I think Alexa would have known how to fight a 5-round fight a little bit different. Let me know what y'all think. What do y'all think in the comment section? I think, 5-round fight, it would have been a different story. I think Alexa still would have won the fight in 5 rounds. The approach would have been different. Let me see the comment section. Y'all talking about you're talking about featherweights. Okay. B just said, I don't think she took her foot off the gas. I think she just got hit, and Macy has that one-hitter quitter. Yeah, she did take her foot off the gas, but she got hit too. And I think when she got hit, she went into survival mode too, though. I think she got hit. It was a combination of both, like, because she went on the back foot early. Like, she didn't even go back to countering with the jab or you know, just like trying to set a trap. Grasso definitely went into survival mode. Yeah. No flyweight can take too many hits from Macy, so seeing Alexa somewhat defensive isn't a surprise for me. There was it was beyond defensive to me. Me seeing her box before, I think there was a lot of good opportunities where she could slip and counter, and maybe knock Macy out, because Macy's coming full force. Macy could have got knocked out. I think Macy could have been knocked out easily by Grasso than Grasso getting knocked out by Barber. I'm just saying. Because Alexa got the technique. Alexa, all she had to do was slip up a good right hand and boom. I'm waking your TV up. TJ said, stop saying Alexa. Alexa, turn his TV to No. Was it Alexa? Tell her to look up whatchamacallit. Yeah, my mind just blank. I was about to say something crazy, but yeah, like, I don't think she would ever taken big hits from Macy if she would have just kind of rolled and counter. Like, you got to roll and counter, and don't run. She was open to being hit because she was on the back foot too much. Like, when you on the bike, you're more vulnerable to being hit than you are if you just like use little good head movements. Grasso said there was something wrong with her knee in the post-fight interview. TJ said Grasso wants to be a point fighter. Maybe that's why Caitlin Chikagan called her out. Stairs, that's what cheap merch will do for you. I mean, yeah, like, Alexa doesn't have to be a point fighter. Like, for real, like, don't be a point fighter. I mean, you got the precision and the accuracy to counter and set traps. Like, forget the points. You know, this ain't amateur boxing. Forget the points. Yeah, I can say she did the right thing now. Just wait for the stream to come back. So it's acting up. Hold on. I don't think, of course, now that she won, I don't think she did the wrong thing. I definitely can say that she did do the wrong thing, but the smart thing would have been to counter and land and get her out of there. You know, make one quick little turn when she swung that wild shot and boom, right on the chin, and she'll be down. Because running backwards is very dangerous. I mean, I was looking at what's that guy's name versus Joaquin Buckley. He was no. Perfect example. What's his name? Hooker. Hooker was fighting what's his name a couple weeks ago. All that running and all that backing up and all that surviving, and then boom, he got knocked out. He was roping for the power shot. What's his name? Michael what? Iron Michael. I can't remember his name. He was fighting Hooker. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Hooker was on that back foot like that for that first round. He got knocked out. See, my thing is like Alexa put yourself at risk more by backing straight up, because you back straight up or you run from Barber, all Barber has to do is eventually swing wild and catch you. But if you turn and pivot and you duck and pivot, yeah, Michael Chandler, yeah, if you duck and pivot and play the Matador, you'll eventually get a good counter punch off. Yeah, Michael Chandler. Oh, Mark Robertson. What's going on? Mark Robertson. What he say? Hold on. Hang on 1 second. Ah, there we go. Damn dog outside barking. All right, Mark Robertson said Macy spent most of the fight being surprised. Damn, why this girl's so strong? How is she out clinching me? Where did that punch come from? How did she get on my back? Why didn't that punch knock her out? Exactly, man. Like, you could see it in the eyes, Mark, man. Like the eyes, man. Like, as soon as like the arm went around her neck, her eyes was like, oh man, I'm about to be submitted by Alexa Grasso. You know what I mean? But yeah, overall good fight though, man. I'm glad Alexa went in there and did what she did. Skill over power all day. Um, Hopefully Alexa gets his top 10 spot, and you know we can see what goes on from here. But as y'all know, on Twitter, Caitlin Kagan said, I want to fight Alexa Grasso. Right, Robert? You see it right there. She wants to fight her. I mean, what do y'all think about that? Stammer said Hooker was hella timid in that fight. It was weird. He invited that canvas snap. That's what I'm saying. Like, and the way he invited it, just on the back foot, was like, knock me out. All right, so let's jump to. I'll do links in here in a minute too. So, I mean, I can send them out, but I want to talk about this last topic here in a minute. All right. So who does Alexa Grasso fight? Does she acknowledge that call out from Caitlin Chikagan? What goes on next? How did Macy Barber say the only reason Mackenzie Dern win those jiu-jitsu is because she wasn't there? Whatever. Man, Mackenzie Dern would submit that. Mackenzie Dern would throw every submission in the book on Macy Barber. Come on, man. At least Mackenzie Dern, she's getting some technique down. You know what I mean? At least Mackenzie Dern is working on something. You know what I mean? I've seen more improvements in Mackenzie Dern. But who's Alexa fighting next? What do y'all think? Who's Alexa going to fight next? Who's Macy Barber fight next? All right, Mark Robertson said, to be fair, Macy, Alexa surprised a lot of us. I called her to win and I followed her closely, but even I didn't expect that level of clinch game. Yeah, you're right, man. Like, Mark, I was like, Alexa gonna just do this thing with the hands. Either she's gonna just put these hands on her and that's it. We can put hands on her and call it a night. But nah, man, she said, check this out. We going to the ground. We going in the clinch. We going to box. We gonna do a little bit all of this. Y'all remember that right hand left hook from Alexa Grasso? Man, I thought she was about to knock Macy out, man. Yeah, they might, because Chikagan's not really gonna fight a rematch with Lauren Murphy or Andrade. Lauren Murphy fights JoJo, then Caitlin Chikagan can kind of call. Caitlin's kind of in a weird position where she can take any fight she wants, basically now. That's how I've been seeing it. Like, excuse me, she could jump up and down and fight whoever she wants. Let's see. I wouldn't know was Grasso fights next. She didn't call anyone out. Yeah, I'm mad about that too. I was talking about that yesterday. You saw me, man. I was like, come on, man. You're supposed to say who next, man. Who next? Come on. It's like a job, man. It's like if you want a job position, you got to say, I want that job. And not whatever job they give me. You want to wash dishes? Then okay. You didn't ask. Oh, I don't want to wash dishes. Well, you didn't ask. You didn't tell me what job you wanted. That's the position you're going to work. That's kind of how it works, right? That's just LFA rivalry talk. BJ Durham with pretzel, Barber with the quickness. Oh, yeah. Man, her eyes would pop out of her head, man. If she got the rear naked choke on Macy, she would make the eyes pop out. BJ Penn confirms Macy Barber has changed her nickname to the present. Hopes current changes are not needed. Y'all read that, man? BJ Penn confirms Macy Barber has changed her nickname to the present. Hopes further changes are not needed. Yeah, Alexa versus Roxanne. Macy Barber versus Jessica I. Yeah, that would be all right. Colton said Caitlin's reach might put her over on Alexa. It might. I think where Cynthia failed, I think Alexa can succeed, though. I think Alexa Grasso could really succeed where Cynthia failed. Like, even though being the shorter fighter, I think her offense is better than Cynthia Calvillo's. Alexa has some pretty good timing when it comes to her boxing. Yeah, that would be interesting, though. All right. Yeah. That. Mark Robertson said, assuming Alexa's in the top 10 after this fight, assuming the other rankings stay the same, I think Alexa would be favorites to beat Modafferi, Calvillo, and Jessica I. Yeah, I think, yeah. I think Modafferi would be a hard fight. But then again, I think that Alexa Grasso would be hella strong in the grappling. I think her physical strength is going to give her problems. Calvillo, I think she can outstrike her at this point. I think that Alexa Grasso, her speed is much more effective. Jessica I don't know what type of approach she takes to fights, man. She's just unpredictable sometimes. Sometimes she's there, sometimes she's not. So I can see Alexa Grasso winning all three of those fights, Mark. All right, hold on, y'all. Wait a minute now. There we go. Give somebody help. Yeah, man. Like, she definitely is, man. Like, she's just physically strong. I mean, people underestimate the ground game. Yeah, I think Roxanne would probably be the most dangerous out of all those fighters. There you go, Rob. I sent you a link, but I'll let you know when to come in because yeah, let me wrap up this last topic here. And I know BJ. Yeah, so I'm gonna wrap this last topic. I sent the link out, y'all, but I'm just gonna wrap this last topic up. All right, so last fight, let's talk about this fight, man. Great fight between Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns. Man, that's what I'm telling people, man. People just think the jab is a joke. They think this simple punch is a joke, man. But Usman was just able to do so many things with this jab that these fighters, they wish they could do. You know, it's stuff they need to learn how to do, man. Usman went in there and said, look, let me keep my composure. I'm going to just let this kid throw whatever he has at me, his offense. I'm going to just stay back, play it smart. And boom, he came back went right back to the basic of a jab and just took Gilbert Burns apart with one simple punch. And it set up so many opportunities, man. So I be telling people, like, a jab, man, can just set up like some great opportunities for a fighter if they just learn how to throw one. If they know how to time a jab and they know how to work it, it's yours. I mean, Kamaru Usman's not even a striker, like an elite striker. To me, like, he's not like one of the best strikers out there, but he is that guy who knows that this one punch right here, it can do some things. And he's getting better with his striking. I will say that, though. You know, one of the most beautiful punches I've seen in a minute from, you know, a wrestler. Lolita, what's going on? Lolita said, it's freaking cold outside and I gotta drive home when it might be snowing. I've only seen snow twice in my life. Well, be safe in that snow, Lolita. Drive safe in it. Robot Chicken Wings, what's going on? Robot Chicken Wings said Usman is legit. Yeah, definitely, he's legit. So let's say, let's look at the first round, man. That scare, it did have me like, okay. I was like, Gilbert Burns, he's probably gonna try to close the show. When he landed that big right hand and he put Usman on wobbly legs, I was like, okay, if he follows up, he might get him out of there. But when he let Usman come back, I was thinking to myself, you done messed up, man. You done messed up an opportunity. Like, he would land a couple 1-2s in that first round, and everything he was landing would kind of shake up Usman. If y'all noticed that, like, everything Usman was throwing would kind of put him on shaky legs, you know. But Usman just said, let me stay back. I ain't even gonna go to the ground with him. I'm gonna stay here and just kind of chill. I'm gonna land these body shots while he laying back on his back. And a couple of them body shots to the chest look like they hurt Burns. Burns got back up. He finished the round stronger, you know, so he definitely won it. But as soon as Usman started snapping the jab out in the second round, that chin was like, yeah, that chin was taking them shots, and man, I was like, that jab is on point. You know, it was really knocking Burns back. Burns was still landing his right hand, but as soon as Usman threw that overhand right, dropped him, I was like, this is how he's going to do it. He's going to methodically break him down. He's going to slowly break Burns down and wear him out. And he didn't even have to wait that long. He just hit him with a few hard jabs, finished the second round. Third round started, he switched to southpaw and landed that hard right jab and dropped him. I don't know if y'all saw that, though. Like, whenever Gilbert Burns hit the mat, Usman came down with that hammer fist and like made his head bounce off the canvas. I was like, damn, and finished him off. I was just like, yeah, this is what you're supposed to do, man. This is how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to go in there and close the show like in this fashion. Hold on for a second. Let's read these comments. Yeah, Grasso can outskill JoJo. The others will best her. The importance of a jab's exemplified. Do you fight companions? I thought you were about to say I fight people. I was like, just for what? Fight? No. Oh, do you do fight you mean fight comparisons? Do you do fight comparisons? Louis said, I was listening to one where the guy was kind of silly, but I appreciate it because I wanted to know when I was at work and all, but you should consider doing fight companions. What is that? Like, what do you mean fight companions? Do you mean, yeah, those body punches. That's what I'm saying. Body punches on the floor. They changed his demeanor. He was laying back with them little up kicks, but nah. Usman wasn't falling for it, man. Usman wasn't falling for that. He said, let me just chill back. Oh, yeah, Lolita, I do that. Like you're watching the fight and commentating on the live. Oh, no, like sometimes I just be watching the fight. I haven't done. I mean, I've gone back and did like some playback fights. I've been doing that. Yeah, I've done like some live commentaries on some old fights, but no, I haven't done any on like actual fights like that. I'm old. I'm old. That fight companion thing. Just got a little lag on here again, man. Just bear with me. All right, I'm back. Yeah, TJ said too busy watching to try to commentate live. Yeah, that's it's kind of hard. I mean, it ain't hard. I mean, it's just like I really am busy, so I don't know if Kobe's done, Lolita. Kobe might beat Gilbert Burns. Yeah, Kobe would probably beat Gilbert Burns. I don't know if y'all agree with me on that. I think so though. I think from here though, Usman after this solid win over this number one contender, he can get his cash grab. Give him his cash grab against Masvidal. He knows that was a big money fight, so go ahead and get it. Yeah, but yeah, fight can pay. I don't know. I'll try it maybe. I might try it sometime. Who knows? I might try it on this Nunes Anderson fight. I might try it on that. All right, so yeah, yeah. I sent out a yeah. It ain't easy, Robert. I think I called one with him. I called like a. He invited me and he wanted me to call like an Invicta fight with him. So I have done it that way. I did the last Invicta card with him. I called some of the fights with him on there. So yeah, I guess I've done it in a way. I haven't done it over here. Yeah, I still haven't beaten Wonder Boy too though, but I mean, it's an interesting style matchup, but if he wanted another fight, I think he could do that. Gary Baldwin, what's going on? Gary said Colby came back and beat the corpse. So that's sad too, man. Yeah, TJ, that's why I'll probably do Nunes Anderson. The fight I don't care about, right? I mean, I really don't like. I'm gonna watch it, but I really don't think that's like. It's not Whaley versus Rose, man. All right, BJ. Well, BJ Robert, if you want to come in, I sent the link. We can talk it up. I got a few questions for y'all. If you got the link, anybody else want a link? Y'all can come and talk for a little bit. Open link here. Hit the thumbs up too, man, if y'all don't mind. I know you had something to say about the market of Dame Robert, so if you want to come on, the floor is yours. I love how Megan Anderson fans keep talking about her one-hitter quitter. I mean, it was effective against Holly and Spencer, so Nunes better look out. Yeah, she got a one-hitter quitter, but it's going to be effective in something like bare knuckle boxing, but it's definitely not going to be the only factor in a fight against a Nunes, Yeah, Mark Robinson, he's been in there a long time. Yeah, he's coming up on 7 years now. Clown. He's a clown too. Kobe, man. Let's see if Robert got that audio right. So yeah, Robot Chicken Wings. I think Nunes will use her grappling in this fight. I think it'll be best to close her distance and stay away from the right hand. You stay away from the right hand, and the hands is pretty much a done deal against Megan, especially if you're Nunes. You know what I mean? Like, Amanda has so many levels to her game where if she wanted to strike with her, I think she could, but why do it? Why give the puncher that chance? Like, I think she could. I think Megan could. I think Nunes could knock her out. I think Nunes could land her right hand the same way she did against Chris Cyborg, but why take that chance against a fighter who is slowly developing and slowly learning and has long reach? Let's look at their reach real quick. What's the reach comparison here? What is Megan Anderson's reach, like 83 or something? Hold on, I'm just playing. Hold on. Uh-oh. They talking audio issues. Alright, so okay. Alright. Nunes 69-inch reach. Megan Anderson only has a 72-inch reach. Hold on now. How Megan Anderson got it? She's 6 foot. She's got long arms. I'm looking at their reach, y'all. Hold on. Yeah, Robot, though, she is a smart fighter. That's why I don't see her wanting to take that chance and get laid out. So you could definitely see her going in there and saying, let's take it to the ground. Megan Anderson got the same reach as Floyd Mayweather. I knew I was comparing it to somebody. I was like, Floyd Mayweather's reach is 72. Megan only has a 72-inch reach. 5'9". Megan's like 5 inches taller than him, and it's still like, that's how long her reach is. I thought it would be longer, like an 81 or something. It probably is. They probably got it wrong though. It's this Savage broadcasting live from a tornado. And here he is. Got Robert Henry in the building, aka Savage WMMA. Speak to the people. What's going on?
Actually, I'm in the middle of a lava erupting earthquake. I don't know, something like that. But what's up, man?
Oh man, just chilling, man. So yeah, man. What'd you think of last night, bro?
You know what? Last night was classic WMMA. It was beautifully disappointing. It was exciting, but it was a letdown. It wasn't the biggest letdown because we did get 2 fights, and they were both entertaining. But it's just a weird time, man. And it kind of feels like there's some. I'm not trying to speak 2020 up too much, but it's like there's some. What do they call it? Layover. There's some 2020 layover right now, and whether it's COVID or just somebody getting sick in general, or a lack of fights that you want to see happening. Yeah, man. But things are moving though, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like Jillian Robertson versus Miranda, that fight I was looking forward to. I don't know if y'all know, the Sam Hughes versus Emily Whitmire fight for the moment is off because Emily Whitmire had to pull out, so they're trying to find her an opponent, man. So yeah, we got another cancellation coming up. I just found that out today.
Yeah. So how do you want that now? Do you want me to start with my whole marketability spiel, or do you just want to go down the questions in order?
Yeah,
you said you had some questions for me.
Yeah, let's go down the list here, man. Like, what did you think of Miranda's comments? I know you had spoken on your channel too, but
yeah, I decided that I'm going to kind of fall back on those statements. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and what's the word I'm looking for?
Retract?
No, I'm going to do it right here, but I'm saying I'm going to private the video for now, just because like I feel like I'm going to tell you, I think I was being a little bit too reactive, but I'll tell you where I was coming from. What thinking? What kind of thinking I was doing when I first saw that, right?
Okay.
When I first read it, and I had to remind myself that I know better than to not really check out the nuances of what somebody's saying. You know what I'm saying? And to like make sure I read everything, but not just read everything, but read through it. Kind of like when I be getting on the reporters that do Kayla Harrison's work. Sometimes they'll perpetuate a certain idea. And I have to remember that sometimes, even though I did criticize reporters, basically saying how a lot of times they just want a story, they just want a headline, they just want to run with it.
All right.
And at the same token, I was kind of running with it, kind of like, oh, you saying that, you ain't focused on Jillian Robertson. I was kind of seeing it like Jessica Andrade when she made them statements late last year about wanting to fight all these people, but not exactly in the same context, but it just kind of came off arrogant. But I'll say this though. The real reason I was concerned about it was not because I'm thinking, oh, she think in her next 2 fights she's gonna get a Valentina fight. That's not really what it all is. I like Miranda Maverick, you feel me? She's a good fighter. I don't want to see her lose her focus. I thought she completely lost focus and was talking all this trash about fighting Valentina. That's the way I misinterpreted it. That's what happened.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
So I do retract that statement though, that she was trying to, be arrogant and caught up over the title. Yes, she should have a goal. And now that I think about it, the division is so chicken and afraid of the champion that, again, it's not a complete bad idea that she, mentioned that she wants to fight Valentina. It's actually good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where I was coming from. When I read it, I was like, okay, well, we got a fighter that's going to call Valentina out when she break into the top 10 eventually. You know what I mean? Versus somebody that says, oh, I just like to fight. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I just want to fight. I'll fight anybody. Put 10 people in front of me, I'll fight. You know what I mean? That's not what we want to hear. Like, look, Miranda is saying the things Roxanne, JoJo, all these other fighters need to be saying. This girl ain't even ranked yet, but she's already telling you in 2 years, I want to be in there fighting Valentina. Or she's already telling you that I see some holes in there that maybe eventually I could exploit. You know what I mean?
Again, could she have said a little better? Maybe.
Yeah.
But I think given the question that she was asked, she probably answered it the best way that she could. And sometimes you gotta look at it from the standpoint of the fighter. This is a young up-and-coming fighter. And I'm not saying she's intelligent and all that, but being on the spotlight like that, and a reporter throwing a question like that probably in that moment was the best way she was gonna answer. Because I know she doesn't want to look like she's afraid of Valentina. Even if she would be a little nervous, you see what I'm saying, if that fight happened tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she would back down, but I understand it's like, I got a goal. And it's weird, man, I'm telling you, because I almost want to do a case study on what she did, what she's doing now, what Macy Barber did, in terms of like when she first went in the organization, and what Megan Anderson did. Because see, they're vocal. They ask for what they want.
Mm-hmm.
But their response to it, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that she actually showed maturity, because a lot of fighters, if you get a backlash like that, they gonna panic. They gonna panic. Like, I mean, she might have kind of was like, whoa, whatever, but I'm saying, like, they get real defensive. Like, if it was Macy Barber, Macy Barber might mess around and say the wrong thing. You feel me? Because she's so emotional about it. But I don't know. She did all right, man. I mean, again, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But like I said, I think I just kind of jumped the gun. I'm kind of like, oh, girl, like, you ain't ready. You need to go ahead and focus on Jillian Robertson. And that was my only point. I'm like, you about to get beat sitting there worrying about Valentina Shevchenko, but it's clear now. So that's my thoughts on it, man. That's it.
Right. Yeah, because I was just like, some people were just like, yo, I got to change my pick now. I'm like rocking with her because she called Valentina. I was just kind of like, well, that's what she want, right? Like, we should want this girl on the come up to call out the champion. Like, when everybody said, some people were just saying, I'm going to go with Jillian now because of this crazy talk from Miranda. I was just like, whoa, don't change your pick just because of what she said. I mean,
nothing's going to change my pick.
Right.
I mean, at this point, like, I was concerned. Like, if she lose, she lose. If she was unfocused, she was unfocused. But I wasn't quite taking it that personal, to the point where I'm like, you know what? Just because you said all that trash, and I'm not saying that the people who changed their pick did it solely on that. In fact, I heard them saying it was more than just that, but that might have been the tipping point, because they were thinking the same thing I'm thinking, like,
mm-hmm.
You about to mess around and lose your focus. But I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know. I can't say that because I don't have enough data to prove it. Like, okay, I'll give you a good example of somebody losing focus. Marina Agapova.
Yeah.
That's an example she's on Instagram, she joking, she's saying she gonna do this. She's giving it completely away that she probably, perhaps, really is looking past Shannon Dobson. And she's being arrogant. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you really look at it, when I slow down and really look at it, what Acapulco did with Shannon Dobson, there's no comparison. I mean, I know there's no comparison because it was a big story, but still, if you just look at it for what it is, there's no comparison.
Right. And a good comparison. Well, I won't even say comparison. A good contrast in what was being said with versus Miranda is like what Macy was saying. Like Macy completely overlooked Grasso, in my opinion. Like the way she took her approach, she was like, well, after I beat her, I'm gonna call out JoJo next, or I'm gonna get back with Roxanne because I think I can beat Roxanne. Like I could have beat her in that first fight to the injury. You know what I mean? Like then I get a title shot. Like her talk seemed like she was totally doing like the media. The media just totally blocked out Alexa Grasso, and that's what she kind of did. You know.
Now I'm gonna talk about how I feel about how the media did Grasso, but then I'm gonna do the flip side of that too. But in terms of Macy Barber and her trash talk, I was with her at first. I was one of the few ones at first that was like, you know what? Macy's hyping up this fight. This is a good thing. I know she's been off for over a year. I know that she's not what they would call the A side of this fight, but in terms of promotion, she's the A side as far as I'm concerned. So I'm gonna go ahead with the talk. But when I read that Sports Illustrated article, that's when it started really, the point started really hammering home that, and there was other articles, but that's the one that I saw where it became obvious, like, what is she doing? Like, even when she talks about the Modafferi fight, she's still making excuses, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, just the simple fact that you lost. You lost the fight, and you got injured while fighting. That means that injury happened while you were fighting, which means the injury was partly caused by you engaging with your opponent.
Right.
I already used this analogy with, what's her name, shoulder against Valentina, Juliana Pena. You know, even though Juliana Pena was still in the fight in the second round, more than perhaps Macy was, right? Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is, you lost. And then when you start bringing up those names, Calderwood, and all that, that's when she lost me. I didn't mind her saying she wanted to fight for a title. I didn't mind her saying she want to move up and fight these people. But when you start adding those names, and then you keep bringing it up over and over again, it's like, you know what? Maybe you really don't respect Grasso. But I can kind of see why in the media format, why she wouldn't respect him, because I've never seen them like this combo. Mm-hmm. I heard earlier in the week, I heard WMMA talk about it, but you know, I didn't think much of it. And then it got toward the end of the week. I started looking at it. I'm like, they are not. They're not promoting Grasso at all. I mean, Grasso is a contender. Is a legit contender.
Yeah, I saw it. Because the first thing that came to mind, like I mentioned earlier, was Tanisha Tennant versus Danielle Wolf. You know, one of them situations. And then the same way they did the other contenders girl that fought. She's fighting Randa Marcos in a couple weeks or a month or so. They kind of did the same thing with her, where you know it's all eyes on her. You know, so I was just like, okay. I was like, y'all keep saying that. Well, my pick is still Alexa. You know.
Yeah, what happened? Like, it was just so blatantly done. But in my podcast, I said Friday, I said it's interesting that they're pushing the fighter who has more fighter hype than fighter activity. And then now you got to ask yourself the question, which one does the UFC value more? And that's what I was really pondering. And I'm like, she's been out for over a year. Her last fight, she lost. And this fighter is coming off a victory. Mm-hmm. But She didn't call anybody out. She didn't really build herself up in a promotional sense in terms outside of actually executing and winning the fight. And regardless of how I might feel that Alexa Grasso could have did more, or she could have demanded. I mean, she could have did something, because this is how I know we got two different mindsets. That couldn't have been me, because I would have been like, this is the same promotion. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, right? They fired Liz Carmouche, right?
Yeah.
While she was doing company work, she was out there doing promotion for the UFC, right?
Yep.
Fighters, I'm gonna say certain fighters, because some fighters, they're above the law. To a degree, they're above the law. They don't have to do all those extra promotional stuff once they get to a certain point. But most fighters, especially like 99.9% of the women, they do promotional talks, interviews, they do events, right?
Right.
And I'm like, the next time they want to ask me to do some damn, some extra promotional stuff, I'll be like, why? Y'all don't promote me? I just had a fight and you promoted, you know, I'd have made a mess. Combo, I'd have made a mess. Or if I was her promoter or her management, I'd have got all on, and that was crazy. But regardless about how I feel about that, regardless of how I feel about what she should have did, I still agree that Alexa Grasso got done wrong by the company in the promotion fight. It was hands down, it was wrong, it was disrespectful. It was nearsighted. It was completely nearsighted, and they gambled on it and they lost.
Yeah, it was, especially when you thinking like Alexa just moved up the flyweight too, when this was supposed to be like her big opportunity to break into the top 10. You know, I think it was more so. I was, like I said, my eyes were more so on Alexa because I wanted to see her handle a puncher. You know, like Macy, I was almost about to counter out because I was like, you going in there with a much better skilled fighter, and you're coming off a year and some change layoff. You know, how does that weigh? You know, when you look at it, how does that really weigh? Like, what is it she's possessing that's making us say this is the big return where she's going to just flatline her and challenge Valentina next? You know what I mean?
Look, listen, just look at the opposites. You got a fighter who moved up in weight class, more technically skilled, coming off a win against a fighter that has very little technical prowess, coming off a year and a half layoff, coming off of an injury.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. And they don't, regardless of how hard I've been on fighters not calling people out, that is just stupid by the company. Like, it shows you what they value. It shows you, because they did the same thing with Amanda Nunes. Now, Amanda Nunes is maybe not the most marketable, that's a debate, but regardless of what you want to say about Nunes, they put all their eggs in the basket of Rousey. I don't even know if they thought Rousey was gonna win. They were just trying to make one more bag off of Rousey before she decided to get up out of it. Honestly, that's how I feel about it. They knew her stand-up wasn't, I mean, somebody knew it. We know Bavarian didn't know.
Right.
Even after he knew, he wasn't gonna change nothing, or they wasn't gonna find anybody else. But, you know, at the end of the day, I just feel like they should have did some type of promotion. Man, they could have sold, do you know how much, never mind. I'm about to start calling the coach now. like they could have sold Nunes all types of audience. It still could have gave Ronda the lion's share of the promotion, but at least showed some respect to the champion. That way, now, if Nunes is going to continue to be the champion at 135 and grow, see what I'm saying?
But
they would have got off to a good start.
But that's the thing, like, you know, the UFC, they're still marketed to what their demographic is and their fan base. Like, they're still going to try to play it safe and put the mask over certain fighters and just say, this is the one you should be going for. This is the one you, but at the same time, they're saying this is the one that we know they're going to go for because of the way they look. Like Holly Holm will get title shot after title shot until eventually somebody's going to say, no, I'm not falling for it anymore. You know, it's like with Paige. Like Paige was making, she was good. She was in a safe zone in the UFC for so long until finally, even like a lot of her men followers, they were saying, why are you still fighting? Why are you still fighting? Get up out of there, you know. So when everybody found out the charade with that, now she's going over to a new audience to BKFC. So it's just kind of like a it's a merry-go-round. It's like a merry-go-round with
make the Sims continue.
Yeah, when the ride stops, they let that same type of fighter on again, and then boom, we're gonna go on with the same type of followers until the people get tired of that fighter, you know.
Yeah, and I understand. I understand why the casual feminists love Rousey, because she was finishing people, she was talking trash. She was blonde hair, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She checked all the boxes. She checked every box, just about. You know, maybe she wasn't drop dead gorgeous or anything like that, but it didn't matter. You had enough people, they could sell that too. So I just think though that it shows you the fact that they would do that. Because again, Macy Barber. And neither Barber or Grasso right now in their career they don't even have the star power. I mean, I'm just saying star power, right? Mm-hmm. They don't even have the star power like a Holly Holm or nothing, right? No. Or I don't even think they have a cyborg, Valentine, none of them. I'm not saying that to disrespect them, but I just think the ideas that Barber perpetuates. They like that. They like it. They like people who knock people out. It's MMA for casuals. It's look, I'm not trying to say all casuals think like this. It's MMA for dummies. Okay? Talk a lot of trash, knock somebody out. You like boxing, you like this right here. That's what it is.
Yeah, BJ said, yeah, people stopped loving Ronda so much when they found out she had black heritage. They don't lie. Hey, they don't lie, man. That's not a lie. They like, oh man, they like she done psyched us out. She psyched me out.
That's like, you mean to tell me she only doing them moves like that because her great grandma was some thing like fire something.
10 generations removed.
Yeah. I found that out earlier about her when I first started seeing it, but personality wise, I couldn't get it. I just couldn't get it on the ground. It just, I respect what she could do on the ground.
Her mom seemed pretty cool though. Her mom seemed pretty cool because like,
yeah,
even she did the coach interview, and then I seen some other interviews with her talking about her heritage in the past and getting called like racial slurs even back in the day. I was like, dang, you know, I didn't know they dealt with it like that, you know. So, you know, her mom seemed pretty cool on the level. I mean, maybe Ronda is too. Like I said, the image she portrayed to us as far as the entertainment side, it wasn't too appealing, you know what I mean? So
I think Ronda has definitely got some type of mental, emotional complex she dealt with over the years. It has something to do with her childhood.
That's all, yeah.
Well, that's all it is. And you know, look, we can go into that. The darkest versus the whitest, this group of people, you being in the fight versus somebody else. You know, it's so much mess. You don't know.
Oh yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah,
Same with Kayla Harrison and all of them, you know.
Oh, the Stamina said Ronda's blacker than Mike Perry. Imagine that. Hey, he probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of white people who are black.
Oh yeah.
He's just more of a hardcore racist, according to what he's saying.
Yeah.
That's all that is. He's showing you how racist he can be. He did some racist stuff to see if it'll make him more black. Sorry, buddy, it just made you more racist. You still got issues. You still got some problems.
All right, so look, I'm looking on JoJo's Instagram right now. On JoJo's story, she just posted this picture next to Macy Barber, right? It said, Macy Barber will call out JoJo after a win over Alexa Grasso. So JoJo commented on the top. She said, I take it security got her before she got to steal the mic again.
Oh. No, I'm about to say something. I like JoJo, but this is the thing I hate about social media and these fighters, and I'm particularly talking about the women. I don't care who it is, whether it's Angela Hill. And I really, Angela Hill. Here's the funny thing. I think Angela Hill has so many fights, I can't even remember whether or not she called anybody or not, because she's always fighting. You know what I'm saying? I don't even question whether or not she calls somebody up, because she always gonna talk trash about everybody, right?
Right.
But sometimes she gotta eat them words. But sometimes she cheats. But anyway, at the end of the day, JoJo Carter, see, when you say something, you can go out there and say something like that. I'm like, why don't you call somebody outright? You know what I'm saying? I understand you want to make fun of the younger fighter, but the younger fighter has an element to their game as a professional that you're lacking. So you're going to take you know what I'm saying? It's such a cheap shot. It's just a cheap shot. I mean, I don't know. But look, in terms of the actual fight, because I want to talk about that for a second.
Okay.
Macy Barber and the thing about that fight was, in the first 2 rounds, I mean, Grasso was proving to me that, like, she really wasn't afraid of Macy Barber. In the 3rd round, I think she got a little sloppy. Maybe she just stick to the game plan. I don't know what happened, but in the first 2 rounds, she was tagging Macy Barber and controlling her. Like, see, you can be more stronger with punching, but that doesn't mean you can control somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if you're bigger, that don't mean you necessarily understand techniques or how to use your muscles. Like, I remember it was this guy, I never forget. I forget both of the guys' names, but I remember one guy's nickname. This dude, the brown skinned brother, curly, blondish, kind of like hair or whatever, something like that. But he had curly hair, and he was like a bodybuilder, right? I mean, he was like a weightlifter, right? He throwing up all this big weight, and then one day he got into this little dark skinned dude named Short. Now, he was in shape. He was kind of cut up a little bit, but he wasn't a big dude by no means. He was a small guy. Man, he started playing around and wrestling with Shorty had him about to fall on his back. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So Macy Barber thinks you going in there with a fighter that's smaller than you. That don't mean anything. You know? I'm gonna tell you what pissed me off. That Tatiana Suarez comparison. I'm like, you are not Tatiana. Totally different type of fighter. Like Tatiana is not your average, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's a wrestler of a different ilk. She's on a different level.
Yeah.
So when Tatiana is able to do things to a lot of people that are better than you. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, she couldn't just come in there because she's big and think she's physically strong she's going to do what Tatiana did. That's not her game.
I like Tatiana at 115 in a wrestling match against Macy Barber, and I mean it.
Oh, that's
she got hydrated.
Hey, what's going on? Roger said, not sure why you guys are giving Macy so much business. She was practicing proper social distancing with her striking.
Hey, but look up. All right. No, those shadow boxes she was doing.
Oh man!
Every time she was like 8 feet away, she thinks she throwing a jab like she Sugar Ray or something, trying to throw a jab out there. So when she get close, she go back to the same old swinging like a crazy maniac there.
Would she let that like 1, 2, 3 off in like the 3rd round, and she was like a mile away? I was like, oh yeah, I think she know it's over now. So I was just like, come on, man. I was like, what are you doing? I don't know, like her mouth and her technique, or her heart would say her heart and her mouth are like off the charts. You know, she'll fight anybody, she'll talk trash to anybody, but when it comes to the technique, man, it's just something that it's not there yet.
Nah, man, her mouth and her heart is off the Richter scale, and her technique is ground zero, man. It's terrible. Like sometimes she'll throw a nice little. She should have been doing the third round. She should have been doing that. Look, elbows, knees. Try to do what you did to JJ Aldridge. That's how she got back in that fight. Like I said, I wouldn't even try to I mean, I think they moved her too fast. You know what I'm saying? She's not going to be throwing technical jabs like that. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. There's an argument, though, that she should have been able to implement some of that, considering the fact she's been gone a whole year.
Right.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm happy that Pollyanna won her fight against Mallory Martin.
Yeah, that was a good one, man. I said I didn't really have a pick, but what do you think is gonna happen to Mallory Martin from here, man? Like I was asking earlier, like what level of fighter is she, man?
Mallory Martin is the new Romero.
Oh wow.
If she don't figure something out, she gonna become the new punching bag. And I don't like. Look. I don't know what it is. It's like maybe if I actually met Mallory Martin in person, she all right. But it just vibe. I just get it. Like I don't like her. I don't know why, but I think it got something to do with her fighting though. It's something about her. Where it's like even in that Hannah Cypher's fight, like you know what? You did what you had to do. I ain't gonna say that she simply got lucky, because I look back at the fight recently and I can see that, you know what? Maybe Cyphers wouldn't have knocked her out. And after she got up, she hung in there. They didn't have to stop the fight. But my God. I just don't think she's that good. I just think if a fighter is all around, she loses. If a fighter can stop, has a good enough defense of her, like defensively responsible on the ground, right?
Yeah.
If I don't even want to go over. Like I just think that she's mediocre. I just think that she's talented. She is talented, but I think there's something about her where you would think she would be. And this is what I agree with a lot of people are saying. You would actually think she's better than a fighter than what she puts out there. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, like I seen some of her fight, a lot of her fights, and I was like, this girl has skill, but the thing is, she's just she gets a little reckless in there, man. Like she wants to fight and take your head off all the time, and I mean, like Verna Genderoba just like submitted her easy. She made it quick work. So when you look at the high level of fighters that are in the top 15, it's like who is she gonna really match up against? So there's a lot of work to be done with Mallory, man.
Yeah. Pollyanna, my only problem is she called Mallory Martin out. She beat Mallory Martin. And then she didn't call nobody else out. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how you can do something right like that the first time and then like not say anything the next, but Alexa Grasso saying she wants to evolve and she wants to do what she has to do to get better. It's like she's so happy to just be participating, Combo. She's so happy just to be still in the UFC, wearing that uniform and getting victories over snotty-nosed rats. But I'm like, don't you want to contend for the title?
And see, look,
ain't that what you?
That's what I'm talking about right there. That what you said about her, I just want to wear the uniform, I just want to fight. That's what differs from the fighter, the Miranda, the talk she said. She said, look, I want to be done by sometime in my 30s. I want to go for the belt, but I don't want to be in the game this long, getting brain damage and just fighting for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, that tells you where two fighters differ. the two fighters that kind of differ in these ranking systems. You got one who want to be champion, then you got one who is just happy to be there. Which to me, I mean, if fighting is your only way and your only meal ticket, I understand that. But to me, I wouldn't just be happy to be fighting for nothing, if that makes sense.
Nah, man. Look, if the UFC had did me out of the ground, I'm saying exactly what I would do. Let's say I had said nothing about it, right? Let's say that was my strategy up to that point. I ain't gonna say a single thing about you not promoting me. I'm not gonna say nothing about you giving this girl the props, about you ignoring my skill. I'd have did something way more bold. I'd have called out my next contender, and I would have called out Dana on the mic. I'd have called out Dana first, though. I'd be like, hey, Dana, yeah, thanks for not promoting me and my team with this fight. That's okay. We went ahead and took care of business anyway. Hey, Nick, I need Carter Wood. I need Carter Wood right now. I need to fight. Whoever she thought she was gonna fight, now get that fight to me. I'm gonna bust Carter's head, bust her head wide open, or something like that. Not necessarily those words.
And that's how you get it.
But all she had to do was say, I would love to fight Jessica. I would love to fight JoJo Carter Wood. I would love to fight Montessori. Like, do you got a mean mug to say that? Is this something I'm missing? Oh my God.
Man, that's what I'm saying.
I would love to fight such and such next.
No.
Let's get it done.
They just don't want to talk like that, man. That's what's they just ain't got it in them, man. It's disappointing, man. Let's see. Usman and Burns, man.
Oh my God. What a fight. What a fight, man. That was crazy. For a minute, I'm like, oh my God, you mean to tell me Barber is actually going to stop moving? Jesus. Like, I believe that Barber had hands, okay? I saw him do a little bit in the fight against Tyron Woodley, but I didn't see him just flat out dropping Usman, hurting Usman, stunning Usman. I'm like, especially at the beginning of the fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't think he had that in him. And for a minute, I thought the fight was about to be over. But again, Usman's IQ on 1,000.
Yeah.
He did what he had to do to survive. He also understood the rules of the fight too. He put himself in position to where not only can he recover, he kind of put himself in a situation where it's kind of like Barnes was confused and like he didn't really know what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he was able to recover and get out of that round, which is mad proud for that, because I'm saying 99%. Actually, tell you the truth, dude. Not just that. I'm gonna tell you another thing. Heart and toughness. Did you see that head kick that he caught, that Barnes caught Usman with?
Oh yeah, man, he caught me that.
Now tell the truth. Tell the honest guy the truth. Most, I'm gonna say about most fighters, but pretty much, but just about everybody else in that division, I can't think of nobody. The only person that might have survived that, in my opinion, it's a toss-up between Jorge and I don't know if Jorge would survive either, but between like Jorge and Covington, just because they generally come off as real tough guys, right? Fighters at least, right? Man, I don't know how he survived it. He caught that flush. I mean, he was taking some punishment, man. And when he came back and he started, again, adjustments, he survived the storm. And that jab, man, that jab, dude, the form of the jab is what made it. He could not even see it. I kept looking back at this, I'm like, it's like he can't even see the jab. It's like he sees it. That's when you know it's a great jab. You see it, but you can't do anything about it. He was punching him through the guard. He was punching him in unorthodox. he was catching it. And then did you see the Usman when he threw that beautiful that pull counter, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was in there looking like a star, man. I was very impressed. Like, people can say everything they want about Usman. Like, does that performance mean that Usman has the best boxing and MMA? No. And it doesn't mean he has the best boxing in boxing, of course. But it was good. It was showing an evolution, and at the bottom line, it was effective. And that's what I'm learning about MMA. It's not about who got the best this or that always in terms of each variable when it comes to like each individual skill. It's like, I might not be a master at jiu-jitsu like you, but in MMA, I can submit you. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm good enough to take advantage and do things slightly differently in a way that gives me the advantage, you know? Or I might not be as technical, but I can swiftly execute. So I was very impressed with that fight. That fight was definitely fight of the night. It had stakes, it had diversity, and he finished them off, man. He didn't let that dude stick around. I mean, I wouldn't want to stick around. You don't let nobody hit you like that and let them recover after you recover. So yeah, I was impressed. And I was also impressed by, like I said, I was impressed by Burns by showing himself that he was a game opponent, because I was thinking like a lot of people, like, okay, he's good, but is he really been tested like that? Is he really gonna come in here and do something? He did, man.
Yeah.
People won't notice now. They gotta worry about him now.
Yeah. I mean, like, Burns, you know, he had that gear, but it was just that gear. He just didn't have that. He didn't have that second and third gear, man. Whenever Usman just recovered, went back to a basic jab on him, you know, Burns was just like, I'm a little lost now. You know what I mean? There came a point where he got dropped in the second round. Usman just switched it up with one punch, you know, that jab. Like, he made Burns just abandon just about everything at that point. Like, even his attempt at groundwork, like, Usman was just raining them shots on his chest, man. He was like, oh, I gotta get up. You know what I mean? So it was just like, yeah, too many different levels for him, man.
Definitely. I definitely think it was too many levels. And I also think that when he started faking the jab, throwing the leg kicks, you could tell, like, man, this might probably about to be over, because at that point, Burns don't even know what's coming at him. He just don't know. And at the end of the second round, you see the look on their faces.
Yeah.
Because they are friends, bro. They are cool. But it's kind of like you saw the look Burns had, and you saw the look that Lulu had, like, yeah. So I switched it up on you, didn't you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you thought you had me out in the first round, like, you in trouble now.
Yeah. When he gave him that first round, he was like, all right, you messed up because you let me come back. So, yeah.
Yeah, you left the line, you left the old line alive. And now I'm gonna show you what I can do. But I don't know if he's that much older than him, but I know he is by a couple of years. But the bottom line, you don't let the chat that's been the chat, you don't let him get out around. Now I'm about to really show you something. So I mean, it was a really good fight, and that division needed a fight like that. It needed to be that competitive, regardless how long the fight lasted. We needed to see something like that, like, oh, something to shake it up. Maybe other fighters will see that and like, I don't know. Maybe if I can improve my striking. But then again, if you improve your striking, Usman is improving his striking. So this is gonna be an interesting fight regardless. And I think the thing is, the jab, he was throwing jabs so hard. It reminded me a little bit of, he's probably throwing a little harder though. When Justin Gaethje beat down Tony Ferguson.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he finished him with a jab, dude, and you can see the pain. You see the pain in his face, man. Like, he wanted to keep fighting, but man, He was messing around, got some brain damage the way he was getting that fight, but jabs, man.
You saw him hit his head on the canvas too, right? You saw him hit his head on the canvas, right? Whenever Usman hit him with that hammer fist down.
He dropped yeah. He made sure he like he ain't getting nothing. Them hammer fists, look, people used to make fun of those. Them hammer fists, man, you can hurt somebody. You hit them with enough of them, or you hit them the right way. Yeah, man. I wouldn't want him to hit me with no damn hammer fist or a jab.
Yeah, I don't even want him to thump me, man. That dude got some power.
Man, that dude be like, look, I'm gonna hit you one time in the chest. Nah, man. We ain't doing that. How about you win? Whatever you were trying to prove, you win. You ain't hitting me that chest with no damn jab. Had my ribs and my chest fall out my back. Hell, get that.
All right, man. So let's see. Yeah, that was pretty much all the topics I had for today, man. But what else been going on in MMA that you had a comment about? Anything crazy? I know Caitlin called out Alexa.
Oh my God, dude, that is Caitlin Chukawis. That's what I call her. Calling out a fighter who that far down, a new fighter, and you rank number 2. See, this is why I don't respect the rankings like that. Sometimes it's the ranking system and the people who are behind that. But a lot of times the fighters, I'm like, if I'm ranked number 2 in the world, okay, it's not as good as number 1. A lot of people may not know who I am because Valentina's number 1. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying, I'm speaking from I'm not trying to dog everybody else. I'm speaking from the standpoint of the average casual fan. But if they hear that I'm calling out somebody way down there for no reason, I don't have a storyline, I don't have beef with this person, there's no reason. It isn't like all the other fighters can't fight. Like, it's at a certain point, it's kind of like, why? Why would you call that person out? I'm gonna tell you what it is. Coach brought it up. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, she contracted. She got a contract where she made a certain amount of money every fight. So I'm like, well, if you know you're gonna make $150 to show and $200,000 to win, or whatever it is, I have no idea what her contract is, right? And you're trying to accumulate as much money as you can as possible, then yeah, you're gonna take a fight that you think you can win. Yeah, I mean, and I think that's what she's doing, but my problem is that, you know, she spent all that time ducking the champ, and then when she finally took this fight and got beat up. Now she don't want to contend for the title no more. I'm like, well, it's okay. You and your Viana can go ahead and retire. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And neither one of y'all point fighters, even though I would say Kagan is a little bit more of a point fighter than you have. At least Viana will go there every now and then with you. Yeah, y'all can both retire. Nobody has time for that.
Shoot, yeah, man. Like, I think, Caitlin want to finish out her contract or whatever she got left and, you know, do the family thing, which, hey, she playing it smart. I mean, if the championship fight don't come anymore, which I think she might be fine with that, she'll probably just ride it out and get whatever fight she can, you know, which would be a good business move on her part.
She's going to fight about 2-3 more times. I'm trying to avoid Valentina and Jessica, trying to avoid you hitting that tummy too much, have a baby, and that's it. That's what she want to do. She ain't trying to she don't want to get hurt. I'm saying you don't want to get hurt. But I'm like, come on now. Like,
let's see, hold on. Stamina said, Robert, this is a terrible take. Caitlin knows how the game works. Options are limited. She's not in demand. She knows girls don't do the call out thing. Alexa is a bad idea, but the logic is solid.
You know what? Maybe it's just my bias stamina. Maybe I just don't like Caitlin Chukawis so much, and I can't see what her logic is trying to say to the WMMA universe. Perhaps I'm wrong, you know. But at the end of the day, she ain't got no heart. So I'm easily gonna trash the fighters who's talking about I need to get a root canal. I'm getting married, I'm having a baby, and then now she don't want to fight for the title again because, you know, she thinks that being number 2 in the world means you just get your pick and let her, F her, man. I don't hate nothing about her. She overrated anyway. That's why she wear them high heel boots and stuff. Try to look taller than what she really is. She 5'8" just like me, combo. She ain't all that damn tall.
Caitlin not, man. Yeah, she be looking tall, man. So
she be wearing them 6-inch heels, man. I'm telling you, when she stood against Valentina and she put her fist on her elbow was aligned with the top of Valentina's head, right? Watch what's the name video? WMMA video. Then when she stood against Valentina, remember when Valentina had dyed her hair red, right? Mm-hmm. Valentina put her fist right in her face. So that's goes to show you, she ain't that tall. She's just skinny. She's just skinny, man.
I mean, for real though, like, I can't get mad at her at this point because, like, she's been kind of vocal about what she wants to do at this point. Even about the championship rematch. Like, if it comes, it comes. But, I think her thing is to just keep fighting. And I got to give her credit, man. Like, she'll answer the call whenever nobody else will, just to make a fight happen. She will stay in there. I mean, she is that gatekeeper. She can at least say that because nobody else can beat her. Like,
a number 2 ranked gatekeeper. That's absolutely disgusting. That shows you that Valentina. That's why I hear what Stammer's say. Stammer's a smart man. Okay, I'm not saying he don't have any points, but think of how ridiculous it is in any sport. Number 2 in the world is a gatekeeper.
But
that's disgusting.
Well, maybe if this was boxing, there'd be more belts, and she would have another belt for a sanctioned fight.
I guess so.
We can put it that way, because I mean, like, there's only one champion here, and like Valentina's just that good. So I mean, like, if you can't beat Valentina once or twice or 3 times, find another route to get your money until your time is up.
She don't want to fight nobody hard though. After getting, if she take a tough fight her next fight, then I guess ain't nothing I can really say about it. Because she will take. I will give her this. She will take short notice fights, and that could explain why she probably get the money that she gets, which is probably what JJ was doing as well. But I think JJ got so spoiled. She thinks she's always gonna get a potential title shot for a certain amount of money, despite the fact that the rest of the competition in the division has beefed up over the years. So I don't know. I don't really particularly like. I'm just put it this way. I don't like Mallory Martin, but I'm more indifferent to her. It's like I really just don't care if Chikagian. Chikagian is like a high class gnat, a fruit fly. You can't get rid of her. Like, she's good. I can't say anything about it. She's good. She is a good fighter, but eventually that division, it'll shape up. It's getting there though. We got some people coming in that's going to make it better, and eventually, like I said, you're gonna have these show up.
Mad at her. I mean, like, I was a couple times. I was like, okay, here comes Chikagian again doing her thing, but then I'm like, well, she is doing her thing. I'm like, it's up to it's up to somebody to get her out of there. If you don't, she'll continue to stand her ground, and I can't get mad at her for standing her ground, man. Hold on here. Mark Robertson said if she wants to get back to the title, Caitlin should call out Lauren Murphy. Andrade probably gets the next shot in a rematch with her probably too soon. Yeah, I mean,
I thought she was gonna fight Murphy. I thought that was what she was doing, her trick to get back to the title.
But I think JoJo will get the Lauren Murphy fight, and I think Caitlin probably will get the Alexa fight. and Andrade will do the title shot. So it's already, look, Caitlin already said it in ink. I mean, she said it in ink. That's what I'm saying. So she can make her own moves basically, but.
Hey, look, again, at least she's, like I said, I don't like what she's saying, but at least she's revealing more like who she is and what her position, she's at least owning it. I don't like it, but she is kind of owning it. But did you see my video that I did a few months back where I was talking about what does Caitlin Chikagian's victory mean?
Yeah.
And you know what my answer was, right? Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing changed. Nothing changed. Look, mission accomplished. She like, I held serve as all of y'all. I don't care what you think about me. Lauren, I whooped you. I will whoop you again. Good night, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but look, she did disappoint me with that Jessica Andrade fight. Like, she could have won that fight, but yeah, man, like that.
Andrade hit her in the breadbasket. It was over.
She hit her in the body, and I was like, "What are you doing? You walking away?" I was like, "Come on, now."
She had, you know what, that had to hurt. Like, you know what, man? That who thought that Jessica would throw a body shot like that in that position? Nobody saw that coming. That's why she did it. She literally grabbed her by her shoulder, her side, and just shoved her fist into her like it was a chef knife or something.
Yeah, she.
And the next thing you know, that delay. When she saw, and here's the thing that gets on me about Jessica Andrade. Like, I love her mentality, right? I love that she's like out there want to destroy you and all that. But sometimes the way that she attacks people, I'm like, Jess, you gotta remember, you're still a human, okay?
Yeah, that attack ain't gonna work on everybody. Like that's what made it just such a highlight, because she stabbed her in that body shot. But it was like, that ain't gonna work with everybody, Jessica. That's what get annoying about her approach. Like when I was doing the live commentary with her and Rose, like just so many things she do is just like any skilled fighter is gonna just take you apart, like Viana did, and you know Valentina might do that eventually. So yeah, man, come on, like she
fighting like look. I understand the whole animalistic thing to some degree, but I'm like, girl, you fight like you 100% wild dog or a lion. Yeah, they can do that because they more athletic than humans and they can rip you apart. You know what I'm saying? You're going to run into one of those Anderson Silva kicks to your face and get laid out or something. She literally going against Valentina, and she going, no, man. And another thing that bothers me about a lot of these fighters, Grasso do it, and Mason do it, and a bunch of these air punches, these air kicks. I'm like, don't none of y'all ever fight Valentina. Because every single time a fighter throws that air kick or that air throw, they'll throw it. They'll throw it at Valentina, but the second time they do it, she just gonna measure, bam. I'm like, ain't no top fighter. Like, you can't do that. Top fighter, man, you get knocked out. You get knocked out like you can't do that. You can't. It'd be one thing if you extend your hand and you're measuring, but you're defensively responsible, right? But if you throw a wild kick, I wouldn't throw anything if I was them. I wouldn't throw anything before I throw that. I'm telling you, that's how I thought Macy was going to knock her out, possibly. Because I'm like, I hope, not Jillian, but I hope Grasso don't throw one of them wild kicks. You can't recover. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little spin kick she be doing sometimes. No, like
yeah, with a person like 4 feet away, like be doing that. Don't be doing that. Forget it.
Hold on, Stamina and TJ, they talking about Caitlin and Grasso here. They said, hold on. I guess okay, it'd be a point fight type of fight. Yeah, so I don't know, man. Caitlin Chikagian got that point fight style. It's gonna be tough, man. I think that, what'd he say? Okay, TJ said Grasso's only hope is on the ground. I don't know. I think she could work it on the ground, man. Like that's the best way to do it against somebody like Caitlin, because Caitlin's so much longer, man.
Do you think she closed the distance?
She gonna have to. She gonna have to.
I mean, I'm talking about like.
I think if Jessica Andrade could, I think she can.
I'm thinking she's probably a little quicker than Chikagian. Now Chikagian is quick, but I just think it's that length. Mm-hmm. And but here's the problem with her. And a lot of people talked about this especially after the Andrade fight. She's not necessarily a master at using range. She's good at it. She can make certain fighters look bad, like she did Cynthia Calvillo. Sometimes I wonder what type of version of Calvillo came in that fight. I'm not saying she didn't lose outright, but sometimes I wonder because she just didn't seem good in that fight at all. But anyway, I'm just saying, Chikagian can't handle pressure, and she's soft in the middle. That's her problem. So I'm thinking her team would, if I was Grasso's team, I would try to figure out how can I attack her with a certain sustainable pressure and work her body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just the issue of getting around her though, because Chikagian is good at switching it up and throwing little things out there. But I'm gonna tell you what I think her weakness is. When she throw those ill-advised kicks, yeah, she throw too many of them kicks out there. In every fight against somebody that was at least Andrade's level or above, she going to the ground. She going to the ground. Something about her kicks. For some reason, people can read her kicks. I don't know. I don't like her kicks. Or at least there's a certain kick that she does, and when she do it, she about to get caught. So I don't know. It would be a good fight, but
she's definitely not a, like you said, she ain't a master with the range, and she's so tall and long, but she's not a master with it, man. So it's definitely not going to be like a big factor against Alexa, because Alexa boxes too, so she know how to get in on range, So it's really looking like Alexa's chances are better than people think against her.
Yeah, she glad, Chikagian better be glad that there's a 125 division. That's all I'm gonna say, because she go up there with somebody like Caitlin and all them. She don't get by. They got just as much range as her. They got more size. Like, this is her division. This is it, and she can't go down. She ain't gonna get down to 115. This is the perfect division for her. Just like 115 is the perfect division, even though JJ could fight at 125. I just think 115 is where she got all the advantages at. But she would beat some of them flyweights, though, definitely.
Yeah, she definitely can, man. Like, the one I think, man, would be a weird fight for Alexa would be Viviana Araujo, man. That girl got strength too, man.
Yeah, I'm guessing if Alexa can survive the first 2 rounds. See what I'm saying? But if they get in the pocket, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, because her is quick.
Yeah, I think from a technical standpoint, Alexa might be better, but I don't know. She went. Viviana might let off 2-3 more shots and catch her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
If she can use a jab,
Let me see something here. Mark Robertson said Caitlin is ranked number 2, and she's already beaten number 3, 6, and 8. Araujo, she's never fought, so that's crazy that number 7 is the highest she can call out that she hasn't already beat, except Andrade. Yeah, I mean, she holding that number 2 spot, man. I'm telling you, man, you can't do nothing about it.
She's playing real patient, slow, like she on the chessboard. Like I said, she taking her time. She ain't trying to do no fancy Bobby Fischer stuff. She more like the Russian dude, whatever his name was. Spanky, I'm gonna do 70 moves to beat you. Or I'm gonna do 70 moves to get what I'm trying to win. You see? I don't care. I'm gonna be patient. She ain't taking no fades that can endanger her goals. So it is what it is.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got tonight, man. We've been on here a bit, just chat. It was a good fight weekend. Like I said, man, there was some good fights on Friday. A couple post-fight analysis videos I'm gonna do because there was some good fights on LFA and what's it called, Titan FC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went back and watched those. They had some good fights on there. So yeah, man. Let's see, Gina Mazzani fighting Priscilla Cachoeira. You know, Gina's in that 125 division too. She's slowly coming up, man. So we'll see how she do. I can see Gina Mazzani crossing paths with somebody like somewhere in the future, maybe crossing paths with a Manon Fiorot or somebody like that. They might put her in there with it.
I don't know, man. Me, I'm still was going back and forth. Like, do I want to do an upload video about, you know, the aftermath of that Macy Barber and Grasso fight? I didn't talk so much about it. I'm just like, I don't even know. Maybe I think I might wait till Wednesday. Put something out Wednesday.
Yeah, let it die down a little bit.
Yeah, upload some clips, snippets from the Friday podcast, and just let it be that, because man, it was a real good event, but at the same time.
Mark Robertson said if Jessica I can beat Arujo, I think Alexa can beat her as well. I think Alexa's boxing is better than Jessica I's. Yeah, it's possible, man, but I think that I think Viviane Arujo made some nice little improvements though.
Yeah, I don't know what Jessica be thinking when she's doing that octagon. It just looked like her plan A is her plan B, and neither one of them is really much of a plan.
Yeah.
She literally is a freestyle fighter. Like, I don't know what she's doing. Like, again, Cindy Cavallo embarrassed her. I mean, I don't know, man.
All right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, man. All right, BJ says, sorry I couldn't make it. Catch it on the next one. Yeah, that's cool, man. I know BJ must got that itis. He was eating, he said, so he probably got itis on him.
Nah, that ain't no excuse. I'm sitting here eating dinner right now. He could have came on. What did he do? He smoked before he ate, and he ate a whole turkey or something. I don't know. I'm just playing. But yeah, man. Like I said, it was a great event, but it still leaves something to be desired. I don't know. Maybe I'm just spoiled. I don't know. But I appreciate, as always, you bringing me on and letting me have my little spill.
All right, for sure, man. Well, I'll probably be on for like another 10 minutes here, but yeah, man. I'll catch you on the next one. I'll send you a link, bro.
All right. Have a good night.
Later. All right. Let me see what you got in the comment section. Robot Chicken Wings said Grasso's boxing is better than anyone she fought besides Valentina. Yeah, man. I think Grasso and Rose in MMA period, I think they got some of the best boxing. Rose Namajunas and Alexa Grasso, they got some of the best boxing, hands down, man. Wendy Clear, what's going on? Wendy Clear said Alexa's getting more jacked. Maybe she'll develop more knockout power. Yeah, 9 of 13 decision wins. Yeah, Alexa's boxing is better than Jessica I, because Jessica I, she just abandoned her boxing with JoJo. Like, she wasn't even trying. Like, I think she just felt like she couldn't even hang with her that way. She tried to make it a dog fight. Let me see. Yeah, Stamina. Mazzani versus Cachoeira. It's gonna be fun or a horror show. Like, I see some blood and I see a finish in that fight, Stamina. I see Mazzani and Cachoeira, somebody getting finished. Gina actually looks good at this weight too, man. Her body looks on point, man. Like, she really looks fit. No, please, what's going on? Like, you see her body, like, Gina Mazzani looks really ripped at this weight. Like, she's really been taking care of herself. Yeah, I know the competition is gonna be tough at 125, but yeah, we'll see where it goes for her. You know, she's training with Megan Anderson and James Krause, so you know, she's really making some nice improvements though, as far as her diet and her weight cut. So. Let me see. I'm about to get out of here in like another 10 minutes. What else? Any other questions? What else went on this weekend? And what else is coming up y'all want to talk about for another 10 minutes? Okay, let's see. No PLS said, if I'll be honest, Grasso fought a very smart fight. Clinched Barber to the cage because Macy's very dangerous on the feet. Yeah, she's dangerous, like, with that power, so she did the right thing, man, just to clinch her, fight her a little bit on the inside, and just switch it up inside out on her, man. I was just like, dang, I didn't know Lex was that strong. All right, let's see. Mark Robinson said Megan and Nunes. I'm gonna go with Nunes. I'm gonna definitely have to go with Nunes. Maybe, yeah, definitely on the ground. Maybe submission. I think. Hold on. Getting that circle here. There you go. Lagging. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Nunes, man. I think she'll take it to the ground and just make it an easy fight for herself. I mean, the puncher's chance is there for Megan, but if she can't land it, I don't see it being a problem. Yeah, Wendy, I don't see her having a hard time in this fight. Ooh, Kaylin Vieira versus Viana. That's gonna be a good fight. Oh man, let me see. I might have. I think I'm gonna go with. I kind of lean towards Viana in that fight. I think Viana just a little bit, but Caitlyn is dangerous if you stand in front of her. That girl can throw some big shots, but she hasn't really picked up that intensity like she had before. Her injury. That's a close fight. It's gonna be good though. That's next Saturday too, right? Damn. Kind of leaning towards Yana right now. Let's see. Mark Robertson said Megan should expect a takedown shot from Nunes. Nunes should have in turn have those knees ready. Megan also better be ready for some leg kicks. Oh man, they could probably land those all day. Yeah, you could land those leg kicks all day on somebody like Nunes. I mean, on Anderson, because she's so tall and lanky. Let's see. Yana's clinch game is strong. Yeah, her clinch game is strong, man. Shannon Dobson and Casey O'Neill, that's gonna be good, man. Shannon Dobson's still kind of riding high off their other win, so against Agapova. I'm kind of leaning towards Dobson in this fight. I think her stand-up is improving, but she has to work on fighting off of her back, man. That's gonna be interesting. Casey O'Neill, I've seen a few of her fights, but I think anything could happen in this fight. Casey O'Neill, I'm gonna say 50-50 for right now. Yeah, I wonder if Megan is trying to set up some type of plan. When that takedown comes, she gonna land that big shot. I was just looking at something. But who's the best striker at strawweight? Colin asks, who's the best striker at strawweight? It's gotta be. Well, Whaley proved it against Joanna, but I mean, if you're just talking like just all around, just striking, like off of their style and how they made their career, I guess you could say Joanna, and let me see, be like a tie between Joanna and Rose. I mean, I say Whaley because she beat Joanna, but like as far as like who had the longest career and most successful off of striking, I guess Joanna would be that fighter. I would say Joanna's the best striker, like the best striker. You know, but then like I say, Rose is just such a great boxer that I want to say Rose too. So it's between those three. Yeah, Stamina pretty much said the same thing. Rose, Whaley, or Joanna. Yeah, I don't think anybody else is in there. Like, you know, Marina Rodriguez, Jan Jana, they probably would have to hash it out with each other to see who's the best from them two. And then one of them would have to fight one of them would have to fight Joanna or Rose or the champion to put their names in there. Like second rate would be Jan and Marina right now. But yeah, when you just talk about all around longevity that made it work, hands down, like hands, kicks, you know, punches and kicks, that's Joanna. I mean, title defenses alone, you know, but then Rose came along and used that beautiful, you know, movement, timing, and how she was able to piece up Jessica Andrade. But even then, she had rough moments with Jessica Andrade where Joanna just jabbed her to death and made it such an easy fight. You still have to say Joanna. You know, you still have to say Joanna is just like an all-around better striker. Better boxer, I like Rose. I prefer watching her movements. But like striker, Joanna. Mark said, I think Joanna has the most well-rounded striking. Yeah, Rose is better boxing, yeah. And Whaley is probably the harder hitter, yeah. Pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much it. The best strawweight question is an easy one to answer. A lot of things to consider. Well, when you talking striking, best striker, Robert, I'm gonna have to go with Joanna. Because she took it to, you know, she took it to levels. She took it to a belt and took it to title defenses, man. And she can defend takedowns and say, nah, I'm fighting on my feet. No thanks. We're not going to the ground. You know? Yeah, Robot Chicken Wings. Marina Rodriguez she's a strawweight. Yeah, she's a strawweight. Yeah, so between her and Jan, I think they're gonna have to piece up some fighters to really approve it. Because you see, like Marina goes through the motions, and she'll be dangerous for a while, but she couldn't even beat Carla. She couldn't even beat Cynthia Calvillo with the striking because she got taken down. As soon as she gets taken down, you know it's over. So you can't really say Marina Rodriguez is elite because she's not beating elite fighters with her striking, you know. But yeah, I think it's between Rose, Whaley, and Joanna. If you whatever your poison is, however you want to say, but I go with Joanna. Boxer Rose though. Stammer crazy. So we can't know what you mean, only what you type. I think Rodriguez beats Jan. I don't know. Maybe. I think it would be volume versus accuracy. Jan throwing volume, Rodriguez coming with the accuracy. Be a good fight though. See, Mark Robertson, I think Carla's going to get a shot at the title like this year. I don't think she will win, but at this point, it's hard to say she hasn't paid. It's hard to say she hasn't paid her dues to get back in that position. Yeah, she's still on backup. I mean, really, like, Carla could secure it with a Jan fight or a rematch with Joanna. If she fought one of them and beat them, then she secured it for sure. Robert said, out of the three you named, who is the most effective at her striking? Most effective. I think still Joanna. I'm gonna still say Joanna's the most effective with striking. Because Wei Li does a combination of different things to get her strikes off. You know, she does so many different things, like even physical pressure and clinch work and just offsetting the rhythm. Rose does a little bit of what Joanna does, is, you know, hands and feet sometimes, but she still had trouble in fights with girls like Tisha Torres and Karolina Kowalkiewicz, so she has to get a mix of tools in there to get her striking done, if that makes sense. Whereas Joanna, her striking is it. She dictates the pace with her striking. It's very effective. Most effective striker is still Joanna, I think. Yeah. She has an official win streak, stamina, even if there were close decisions. I mean, Carla at this point, like, if she gets it, that's fine. If Lauren gets it, that's fine too. But I mean, with Lauren, I just feel like Lauren needs to speak up more about it, you know? Lauren needs to argue it. See, at least Carla argued her position as a default. If the Rose fight falls through, Carla can still come in as a stand-in, where Lauren is just kind of sitting back. You know, I think if Lauren would argue it more and just say, let me get Valentina, then fine, then she would get it. Where Carla has some she has some stance there because she's fine with being the backup, you know. See, Lauren, she's acknowledging JoJo's call out, which is putting her in another fight to continue her win streak, but it's not putting her in a title opportunity. I think Carla's been playing chess a little bit better. Stanley said, "Hey, I told you, man, I'm sticking with that, man. Like, 4-fight win streak. Look, I would give it to Lauren stamina, but she's not as vocal as Carla. See, Carla said, look, I'll take this fight. Oh, if Rose don't want the fight, I'll take the fight. You know, she's like, I'll take it. If the fight don't come through, I'm gonna take it. So, but Lauren is still like, oh, JoJo, you want to fight? I'll fight you. I mean, I like Lauren because he's a fight. You know, like I said, I'm nothing against Lauren stamina. I like him, but I'm not hearing the same moves being made here. Because yeah, they both on 4-fight winning streaks, and I think here's my thing, stamina. The legitimacy of their 4-fight win streaks are about the same, right? But it's about that second piece that you need, and that's the piece where you say, I want the fight. And if you don't say you want it and if you argue it, then you're not gonna get it. That's the part I think we're always kind of missing there. That's how I see it. Like, I would say she could have it if she would just argue it more so herself, but But yeah, I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. Been on here for a minute. We had a good fight weekend. Everything turned out pretty good, pretty much like I felt Usman was going to win. Alexa was going to win. I think the saddest news was the Miranda Jillian fight didn't go down. But yeah, man. Mark said, imagine if Rose beats Wei Lee and Carla and Rose rematch. Oh, man, that would be crazy. Stamina said, I'm not campaigning for Lauren. I'm saying that there's parallels there. Both or none. The thing you say separates them, I find disgusting that something so trivial makes a difference. Yeah, it's true, man. Look, it makes a difference, man. Because it's like business. It's outside chess. Like, Carla is at a point in her career where she wants to skip some fights and fight some fights to get her the position she feels she deserves, and get there, man. Like, yeah, if I had my way, if a person was solely based off of the 4-fight win streak, then they can have it. But that's not how Dana White's running things, so you got to be a little bit smarter about it. But I would like to see Rose and Carla fight again, too. I'd like to see that rematch. But we'll save that, Stamina. We're never going to agree on that. I got to go eat something. Yeah, because I'll be more clear on it next time, Stamina, on why I see it that way. Carla more deserving. It's not even the fact that Carla's more deserving. It's about her being vocal. But like I said, it's endless on that one, right? But all right, y'all, man. It was a good night. Good night of chatting. On some good night of fights. I'm about to get up out here, y'all. Thanks everybody in the chat once again for coming through. Y'all haven't hit the like. Make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And I know Stamina enjoys when I hit the road and do the on the road streams. I might do one tomorrow. I ain't sure. I gotta take care of some business tomorrow, but if I have time, I might. But if not, I'll catch y'all on Wednesday for a live stream. But yeah, man, I'm about to get up out of here. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Thanks everybody in the chat for coming through. Subscribe. Peace.